How you guys doing? This is my personal reading of Malachi. We're in chapter 7 in Malachi, and we're gonna go all the way to, it's actually gonna be short. We're actually gonna just read one chapter of Malachi and just try to read one chapter of Nahum. Probably not saying that right, but yeah. We're gonna try to read one chapter. We're gonna just read two books, honestly, because that book is very short. So we'll just read for at least like 5 or 4 chapters. Okay, here we go. Malachi chapter 7. Wait for the God of salvation. Woe is me, for I have become as when the summer fruit has begun gather, as when the grapes have been gleaned. There is no cluster to eat, no first ripe fig that my soul desires. The godly has perished from the earth, and there is no one upright among mankind. They all lie in wait for blood, and each hunt the other with a net. Their hands are on what is evil, to do is well. The prince of the judge acts for a bribe, and the great man utters the evil desire of his soul. Thus they weave it together. The beast of them is like a barrier, the most upright of them a thorn hedge. The day of the watchmen of your punishment has come. Now their confusion is at hand. Put no trust in a neighbor. Have no confidence in a friend. Guard the doors of your mouth from her who is lied in your arms. For the son treats the father with contempt. The daughter rises up against her mother. The daughter-in-law against her mother-in-law. A man's enemy on the men of his own house. But as for me, I will look to the Lord. I will wait for the God of my salvation. My God will hear me. Rejoice not over me, O my enemies, when I fall. I shall rise. When I sit in darkness, the Lord will be a light to me. I will bear the indignation of the Lord, because I have sinned against him, until he plead my cause, my execute judgment for me. He will bring me out to the light. I shall look upon the vindication. Then my enemies will see, and shame will cover her who said to me, where is the Lord your God? My eyes will look upon her. Now she will be trampled down like the mire of the streets. A day for the building of your walls, and the day of the boundary shall be far extended. In the days they will come to you from Assyria and the city of Egypt, and from Egypt to the rivers, from sea to sea, and from mountain to mountain. But the earth will be desolate because of its inhabitants, for the fruit of their deeds. Shepherds, your people, with your staff, the flock of your inheritance, who dwell alone in a forest, in the midst of a garden land. Let them graze in Bashan and Gilead, as in the days of old, as in the days when you came out of the land of Egypt. I will show them marvelous things the nations shall see, and it be ashamed of all their might. They shall lay their hands on their mouths, their ears shall be deaf. They shall lick the dust like a serpent, like the crawling things on the earth. They shall come trembling out of their strongholds. They shall turn in dreads to the Lord our God. They shall shout, and they shall be in fear of you. God's steadfast love and compassion. Who is a God like you, pardoning iniquity, and passing over transgression? For the remnant of an inheritance, he does not retain his anger forever. Because he delights in steadfast love, he will again have compassion on us. He will tread on iniquities underfoot. You will cast all your sins into the depths of the sea. You will show faithfulness to Jacob and steadfast love to Abraham, as you have sworn to our fathers from the days of old. that was Malachi. Very great book. Another prophet, you know, same thing, just describing us about God's love and how God is warning us and how the people are not listening. And yeah, it's very beautiful. And a lot of people think the Old Testament, it doesn't have good parts, but honestly, right here, God's steadfast love, compassion, who is God like you, pardoning iniquity and passing over transgression for the remnant of his inheritance. He does not retain his anger forever because he delights in steadfast love. You know, like he's warned the people, he's mad at the people, how they're doing wrong to him, but his anger does go away, and his love and compassion for us is truly beautiful. We're going to try to read Nahum. It's only only 4 chapters long, or 3 actually. So yeah, let's just try to get this over with and try to read this beautiful book too. 1. Nahum. An oracle concerning Nineveh, the book of the vision of Nahum of Elkosh. God's wrath against Nineveh. The Lord is a jealous and avenging God. The Lord is avenging and wrathful. The Lord takes vengeance of his adversaries and keeps wrath for his enemies. The Lord is slow to anger and great in power, and the Lord will by no means clear the guilty. His way in his whirlwind and storm, and the clouds are the dust of his feet. He rebukes the sea and makes it dry. He dries up all the rivers. Bashan and Carmel wither. The bloom of Lebanon wither. The mountains quake before him. The hills melt. The earth heaves before him. The world and all who dwells in it. Who can stand before his indignation? Who can endure the heat of his anger? His wrath is poured out like fire, and the rock and broken into pieces by him. The Lord is good, a stronghold in the days of trouble. He knows those who take refuge in him, but with an ever-flowing flood, he will make a complete end of the adversaries and will pursue his enemies into darkness. What do you plot against the Lord? He will make a complete end. Trouble will not rise up a second time. For they are like entangled thrones, the drunkards as they drink. They are consumed like stubble fully dried. From you came one who plotted evil against the Lord, a worthless counselor. Thus say the Lord, they are at full strength and mighty. They will be cut down and pass away. Though I have afflicted you, I will afflict you no more. And now I will break his yoke from off you and will burst your bonds apart. The Lord has given commandments about you. No more shall your name be perpetuated from the house of your God. I will cut off the carved image and the metal image. I will make your grave, for you are vile. Behold, upon the mountains, the feet of him who brings good news, who publishes peace. Keep your feast, O Judah, fulfill your vows, for never again shall the worthless pass through you. He is utterly cut off. Nahum chapter 2, the destruction of Nineveh. The scatter has come up against you. Man, they rampart. Watch the roads, dress for battle. Collect all your strength, for the Lord is restoring the majesty of Jacob and the majesty of Israel. For the plunderers have plundered them and ruined their branches. The shields of his mighty man is red, his soldiers and clothes in scarlet. The chariots come with flashing metals. On the day he mustered them, the cypress spears are brandished. The chariots race madly through the streets. They rush to and fro through the squares. They gleam like torching. They dart like lightning He remembers his officers. They stumble as they go. They hasten to the wall. The siege towers is set up. The river gates are open. The palace melts away. Its mistress is stripped. She is carried off. Her girls lamenting, moaning like doves, and beating their breasts. Nineveh is like a pool whose waters run away. Halt, halt, they cry, for none turns back. Plunder the silver, plunder the gold. There is no end of their treasure, or of the wealth of all the precious things. Desolation and ruin, heart melt and knees tremble. Anguish is in all lions, all faces grow pale. Where is the lion's den, the feeding place of the young lions, where the lions and the lioness went, where his cubs were, with none too disturbed. The lions tore enough for his cubs and strangled prey for his lioness. He filled his caves with prey, his dens with torn flesh. Behold, I am against you, declares the Lord of hosts. I will burn you, your chariots in smokes, and the sword shall devour your young lions. I will cut off your prey from the earth, and the voice of your messenger shall no longer be heard. Woe to Nineveh. 3. Woe to the bloody city, all full of lies and plunder, no end to the prey. The crack of the whip and rumble of the wheel, galloping horses and bounding chariots, horsemen charging, flashing swords and glittering spears, hosts of slain, heaps of corpse, dead bodies without end. They stumble over the bodies, and for all the countless whoring of the prostitutes, graceful and of deadly charms, who betray nation with her whoring, and peoples with her charms. Behold, I am against you, declares the Lord of hosts, and will lift up your skirt over your face. I will make nations look at your nakedness, your kingdom and your shame. I will throw filth at you and treat you with contempt, and make you a spectacle. And all who looked at you will shrink from you and say, wasted is Nineveh. Who will grieve for her? Where shall I seek comforter for you? Are you better than Thebes, that sat by the Nile, with water around her, her rampart, a sea, and water her wall? Cush was her strength, Egypt too, and that without limit. Put and the Libanian were her helper. Yet she became exile. She went into captivity. Her infants were dashed in pieces at the heads of every street. For her honor men, lots were cast, and all her great men were bound in chains. You also will be drunken. You will go into hiding. You will seek a refuge from the enemy. All your fortresses are like fig trees with first ripe figs. If shaken, they fall into the mouth of the eater. Behold, your troops are women in your midst. The gates of your land are wide open to your enemies. Fire has devoured your bars. Draw water for the siege. Strengthen your forts. Go into the clay, treat the mortar. Take hold of the brick mold. There will the fire devour you. The sword will cut you off. I will devour you like the locust. Multiply yourselves like the locust. Multiply like the grasshopper. You increase your merchants more than the stars of the heavens. The locust spread his wings and flies away. Your princes are like grasshoppers. Your scribes like clouds of locusts settling on the fence in a day of cold. When the sun rises, they fly away. No one knows where they are. Your shepherds are like asleep, O king of Assyria. Your nobles slumber. Your people are scattered on the mountains, with none to gather them. There is no easing in your hurt. Your wounds is grievous. All who hear the news about you clap their hands over you. For upon whom has not come your unceasing evil? Another book, just warning. Mostly this is about the prophets here. We're in the end of the Old Testament and it's mostly the prophets just talking about the destruction of certain areas. But it's not, I mean, that's the surface level of it, but very deep meaning, a lot of foreshadowing, I feel like, for what's going to happen to us in the future, in the end times, about Revelations. I feel like this is kind of what's happening now, and how people are not listening to God, and there's people trying to tell people the good news, but they just won't listen because of high status. They unbelieve, or they genuinely have evil in their heart, and God still loves us, and he sent his son to die for us. And it's sad that his son died warning people, and still there will be some people that will never have a relationship with God. And when that day comes, when God has warned, and the day comes and you're never listen to him in this earth, he'll say, depart from me, because I never knew you. And that's not God sending you to hell, that's yourself sending yourself in hell. Because hell is the separation of God. And being with God is being with God forever and have a relationship with him. You can't just go to the gate of heaven, say, I love you, God, and not actually have a relationship with him. So this is basically a warning telling people to come to him. All you need is to go to the Lord and have his heart. He wants your heart, sorry. And it doesn't cost anything. Just have a relationship with God, because he truly loves you. He truly wants you to be with heaven. Be with you in heaven. And yeah. This is personal. We read 2 books, actually. So this book I cannot pronounce, I'm not gonna lie. Habakkuk. I'd probably say that wrong, but yeah. We're almost done with the Old Testament, actually. We have, I think, 1, 2, 3. We have 4 more books, it looks like. So around like 20 chapters left. Yeah. It's a beautiful book. Thank you for listening. If you can't tell, I read back to back Genesis, and then I read some of these two books. Try to upload them in the same time, so you guys can have back-to-back videos. And I'm going to try to get a YouTube short and read a little verses of Ecclesiastes, because I can't do the whole chapter. But yeah, have a good day. God bless. Walk by faith, not by sight. And yeah, I'm